Yeah, this is the hose spindle. It's got maple spindle with a poplar connector. This one's got a horseweed plug, and this is a piece of trumpet vine. The notch is about 3 widths in. The plug is about the width of a pencil. The notch is wider at the bottom than it is at the top, with very smooth sides so that it can let the dust sort of settle. This one's really long, which is good for just cranking it out kind of fast. It's not real great for floating, but hope you found this interesting and helpful. Thanks. Hi everybody, this is Tracy from Indiana Bushcrafters and Butterfly Bushcraft, and there's been some questions I've seen around about hand drill spindles lately, so I wanted to show you this one. This one has is a hose spindle, which is really kind of handy for when you can't find a long piece of appropriate material for your spindle that's nice and straight and dry. This gives us the opportunity to use materials that are shorter. Some other advantages is like this particular one is maple, so it's hard, it's not pithy in the middle or anything like that like a lot of hand drill materials tend to be, so you can put some pressure on it and really crank it out quick without crushing it. This here is the connector. This particular one's made out of poplar. It's drilled all the way through. When you're drilling through, if you're going to drill through like that, you need to make sure you're drilling dead center. And if you're going to carve from the sides, you need to make sure to keep it really symmetrical so that you don't end up with a speed wobble. The spindle itself is just kind of put in here with friction, so if I wanted to, I could take this portion off and this portion off and put it in my pack and just find a nice piece of hardwood out in the woods somewhere to use as the spindle itself, or you could just leave it like as is and use the whole thing. If you're going to put the plug in here, I suggest that especially with this one, that you make it kind of longer. This one's getting a little bit short because the shorter it gets, you sort of end up with more of a speed wobble. This acts kind of like a flywheel. But yeah, this is nice because you can get a lot of rotations before you get down to the bottom. I wouldn't recommend this so much for floating because of the length. And I'd like to tell you a little bit more about some of the materials that I find good for hand drill. Okay, I've got some here. These are a couple of my favorite ones. I've got some horseweed and I've got some cattails. These are nice and straight. And dry, which is one of the benefits of having some advance out. You're out in the woods, it can be kind of hard to find dry material that's nice and straight. So, you know, I've been practicing, so it's kind of nice to just have some here like this. My favorite materials for hand drill, I like horseweed and cattail, with those two being my favorites. Goldenrod and mullein, there are other things you can use. I haven't had any success with mullein yet, haven't tried goldenrod yet. For boards, I really like pawpaw, but it gets used up quickly, but you can get a coal really fast. This particular board is trumpet vine. It's harder, so you can get approximately 3 coals out of each notch. Cottonwood and basswood are also good. They're soft, so you'll probably drill through them pretty quickly. I'd like to talk a little bit about the notches themselves. Since you want your spindle to be about the diameter of a pencil, I find it helpful to have your notch about 3 widths of that into the board. This one's a little closer to the edge because this board's pretty narrow. And then for the notch, I like for the notch to go about 1/3 of the way into the hole itself. I like my notches to be narrower at the top and wider at the bottom with very smooth sides. That way the dust just falls right to the bottom instead of sticking to the sides. That way you don't have to tap your board or anything like that to get the ember or coal to come out and stay on your ember pan. If it's smooth like that, you just sort of kind of get it going. You got it burning down there. You can kind of see it a little bit. It's getting some air. You can just sort of gently tilt the board back and leave the coal on the ember pan, and don't get in too much of a rush with that, because I've seen a lot of times, I've even done this myself a whole bunch of times, where you get excited that you can see that you got it going and then you disturb it and it ends up going out. You have to kind of treat a new ember like a baby and be gentle with it. If you let it sit there and rest for a minute, maybe just kind of fan your hand over it gently, give it a chance to get started and established. The dust will burn, it'll start burning more, and it'll kind of solidify it a little bit. Wait until you see it glowing red before you try to transfer it, so that you're less likely to have it go out on you. And when you transfer it into your tinder bundle, kind of keep the bundle a little bit tight at first, kind of nestling it like you would a baby, and blow gently. Don't blow too hard. You don't want to disturb your coal. Just kind of cradle it in a little bit more tightly and blow gently until you start seeing more smoke. The more smoke you see, the harder you blow. A minute ago, but it is also smoking up here.